When the cold of winter is gone and warmth and color return to the earth, we hear the songs of many birds. The cheerful song of the robin is one of the most welcome signs of spring. The robin's home is saddled in this old tree. A robin builds one of the most substantial homes in birdland, but by no means the only interesting one. Bird homes or nests are found in many places. In swamps, along the seashore, in the desert, in the woodlands, and even in towns and cities. They may be perched high in the air, hidden in the dark recesses of a tree, or on the ground. In this film, we will see different kinds of bird homes and learn some of the interesting habits of their builders. We will see the kinds of building materials they use and the places where they build their homes. This Canada goose builds her nest near water. Many birds seem to search out sheltered locations for their nests. But some, like this mother Canada goose, make little effort to hide their homes from enemies. Perhaps because the goose is such a large and powerful bird, it instinctively knows it can protect its home from most enemies. Birds use their nests as places to lay their eggs, and in some cases to cradle their young. This Canada goose nest is built of grass and a blanket of downy feathers. Now Mother Goose returns from feeding in the nearby pond and marshes, and once again takes her place on the nest. Goslings of the Canada Goose can swim expertly almost from the moment of birth. Since they find much of their food in or near the water, this is an ideal place for them to make their homes. Here's another nest built on the ground. This one is near the seashore. It's the nest of a tern. Can you see the two eggs? In closer, it's easier. Like other birds, Mother Tern warms the eggs with the heat from her body. When she leaves the nest, warmth from the sun on the sand helps to hatch the eggs. Her nest is a little hollow. The color of the eggs blends so well with the color of sand and stone that they are well hidden from the eyes of enemies. Now Mother Tern is back to shade her eggs, for long absence from the nest would find the eggs overheated by the sun. Tidal storms and animals that hunt for birds' eggs destroy many tern nests. If they do survive, these baby terns will soon take their places among the tremendous flocks of this common water bird. Many birds attempt to hide their homes. Can you see the bird in this picture? Now it's easier. See how well the color of this mother Kildeer blends with her surroundings. There's her nest, and there are her 4 eggs. The nest is a slight depression in the ground, lined with grass. Kildeer eggs are pale buff in color, with blotches of black. Do you know what Mother Kildeer is doing now? She's trying to get an enemy to follow her away from the nest. And here is the villain. Pretending to be hurt may attract the hungry snake away from the nest. The Kildeer's broken wing act also warns other birds of an intruder. In about 26 to 28 days, the eggs are hatched. Even the young birds are well hidden in their surroundings because of their coloring. Notice the white collar about the neck of each baby. This is one of the distinguishing marks of the Kildeer. Baby Kildeers leave the nest shortly after birth. Since they can run about, they have a better chance to protect themselves. On our western plains, the mourning dove sometimes nests on the ground. Her nest is a flimsy structure of little twigs. Notice how her color keeps her well hidden. Doves lay 2 eggs and have 3 or 4 broods during each breeding season. This little burrowing owl has its home in a hole in the ground. It prefers abandoned animal burrows, like those of the skunk or prairie dog, but is capable of digging its own home if the ground is soft. The nest is usually lined with weed stalks and broken bits of cow and horse dung. The burrowing owl is very active and quite odd in its movements. Some birds like to attach their nests to structures that have been built by man. The phoebe likes water and has attached her nest under this bridge. It is so dark here, we have used an electric light to show the nest of mud and moss. In this woodland, not far from water, is the nest of the green heron. A tree with dense foliage, often evergreen, is a favorite site, with the nest anywhere from 15 to 20 feet from the ground. The heron's nest is an untidy structure. It's an unlined platform of loose sticks. Herons have 4 or 5 eggs of a pale green color. Although usually solitary nesters, herons often live in colonies with other herons or grackles. Among scattered small trees or dense shrubbery, we find the yellow warbler. Its nest is usually within 10 feet of the ground and is placed in an upright fork of a small tree or shrub. The nest structure is an interlacing of bark and plant fibers and grass and plant downs. The eggs number 2 to 6, but there are usually 4. With its rich decorative plumage, the yellow warbler is a beautiful bird. These baby warblers are now ready to leave the nest. Next to sparrows, we have more kinds of warblers than any other birds. Some birds, like the woodpecker, use their sharp beaks to chisel their homes in the trunks of decaying trees. This woodpecker is busy bringing food to her nest. Can you see any of the babies peering from the cavity that is their home? Swamps and bayous in warm climates are the nesting places of the anhinga, or snakebird. Its popular name is the water turkey. The anhinga is about 3 feet long. The male is mostly a glossy greenish black. Its nest is constructed of sticks, leaves, dry grass, roots, and moss. The anhinga's stout webbed feet and sharp claws enable it to climb with ease. Notice the long necks and the snake-like movements of the necks of these birds. Red-tailed hawks build large and bulky nests high above the ground, in the forks of large trees. A platform of sticks lined with smaller twigs, bits of bark, fern leaves, and moss make up the nest. The great horned owl often makes its home in the deserted nest of other large birds. Those of red-tailed hawks, bald eagles, and herons are frequently used. Cactus wrens usually make their homes in the thorniest places of the cholla cactus. See how well they are protected. Purple martins are community dwellers and like to live in box-like houses, provided they're in the open and up on a 15 to 20-foot pole. Often a dozen or more pairs of these birds will occupy as many compartments of a bird box. Birds are common and easily observed forms of animal life. Knowing the common varieties in your neighborhood helps you understand nature better. And learning the habits of birds that are new to you can be an interesting hobby. A study of birds can be not only delightful, but also of value to science. There is still much that we do not know, and your observations may contribute some worthwhile knowledge about this world of living things.